In the grand scheme of things, who is Neo? No one. Looking back, Neo was a sidekick to a petty criminal that got wrapped up in a big job, and she simply followed orders. She served her role as a sidekick. She came in, saved him, kicked her enemies' butts, and left. Perfectly fine. That's why I love Neo. And when her boss died, she began her plot of revenge, and that's it. That's Neo. And now she's fulfilled her purpose in the story, and that's all that Neo needs to be. Yet, here we are. With how Volume 9 ended, they're potentially making Neo out to be something that she's not. A quote-unquote good guy that'll join Team RWBY's side in the future. From Roman's line,
"To have what they have. What a thing, huh?"
we can clearly tell that Neo wants companionship and to have people that she can call a family, which makes sense. The issue is with RWBY's reaction to this. I'm sorry, but I must have missed an episode or two. Was Neo not the cause for RWBY committing her not alive literally 2 episodes ago? Probably less than 20 minutes apart in the show? It's obvious that Neo misses Roman and considers him family. From that scene alone, RWBY and John can get a good sense of how Neo feels. But the last time RWBY saw Neo, she broke RWBY down and made her commit not alive. She tortured RWBY. And then here, she sees Neo and acts as if the past 2 volumes didn't happen. Maybe I can let it go since RWBY just went through her revelation, but not the rest of the cast. Did they forget that Neo was the reason why Yang fell? She tried to assassinate RWBY. If Yang never fell, who knows how the battle could have changed. But Neo also stole the relic from Oscar, causing Team RWBY to lose a wish on the relic. Oh, and she was about to literally murder Yang on the train cart. The only person who seems to be skeptical of Neo is John, and that's just from the tone of voice that he used. Years of being alone has really put some wisdom into John, and he can tell that Neo is still a threat. She may not have been a threat in this very moment, but she's still a threat. Yes, Neo essentially just had a breakdown, but so did Emerald in Volume 5, and I didn't see any member of Team RWBY trying to hug it out with her. Everyone just has such a warm feeling towards Neo. Maybe it's just me, but if someone tried to kill my best friends, I'm never letting that go. And it's not as if Neo helped in the fight. She just broke free of the cat's control, which was mainly the tree's doing, and then summoned the Jabberwockers. Now, this could be the end of Neo's story, with her staying in the Ever After, but I just highly doubt that she'll stay here forever. But for now, let's go with the possibility that Neo will ascend and come back as herself, just with mental clarity like RWBY did. And nothing would make me happier than to not have Neo appear in Vacuole. She has no reason to. I cannot see Neo actively fighting against Salem in Vacuole. I think the ending of Volume 9 highlighted that Neo has accepted Roman's death and no longer needs to get revenge for him. Thus, she can move on. Have Neo be transported back to Vale and live out her life until the plot comes back to her. Then, that's where she decides to at least help fight off all the grim activity that will take place within Vale in the final arc. But this show isn't black and white. At least, it shouldn't be. There aren't just 2 sides to this story. It's not Team Salem or Team Ozpin. There are outliers that exist to serve themselves or their own faction, and that's perfectly fine. I can see Neo fighting off Grim and Vale to protect whatever home she has. I can see Junior's been doing the same thing, but that doesn't mean she needs to be all kumbaya with RWBY. Now, if she decides to be reborn and leave the Ever After, that'd be interesting. Essentially, our little ice cream girl would be gone, reborn as a piece of cake instead of ice cream, or as a pretzel. Maybe something savory? I don't know. But just like with Little, this wouldn't be Neo. It's still an entirely new character, and I could kind of use less of those right now, especially with this going in Vacuole. The final possibility is that she just stays in the Ever After. The only thing that she had left in Remnant was going after Cinder, but now she understands that that's just pointless. I wouldn't be mad with that. Neo just living out her life in the Ever After and trying to help the citizens there, and who knows, maybe she'll make her way back to Remnant. Honestly, as much as I love Neo, her purpose has been served. And if they really wanted to make Neo not be a villain anymore, I can see her staying or just going back to Vale until the plot comes to her. I just can't see another Emerald situation with Neo. But hey, Neo's always been persistent, so who knows what the future has in store for her.